My name is Lee Cassidy from Tactile Technology, and what we're going to do today is talk through a couple of things around guest management and how we can deal with guests coming into a building. So we work with a company called Verkada, and Verkada have got a very interesting platform for CCTV, but you can actually build on it using some of the components to actually manage guests and visitors into the business. So what I'll do first is just give you a picture with a couple of second camera of what the interface would look like. So here what I've got is a camera. It's just a small camera, a Verkada camera. We'd normally use a dome camera or something else inside the business, but this is one I can use quite small in this area for demonstration purposes. You can't quite see it, but up here it's on the screen. I'll show you that more closely later. And then down here what I've got is an iPad that's been connected to the system, and it's given us details about what we can do here. So one, I want to come here as a contractor, I want to come for an interview, or I'm here as a visitor, and there's a QR code over here as well. So the system is based on a cloud-based controller, but it's associated with this this application set. So I'll bring in the application as well. So now you can see that. I'll just make it a little bit bigger. You can see the screen a little bit bigger at the same time. So hopefully now over on the screen here, you can actually see the camera view from here, which is associated to this guest system. So if I go over here and give you a couple of ideas of what's going on here. So first of all, what we can do is send out invites. So an invite was sent out here to Simon Bateman for a meeting we've just completed a few minutes ago. So it's sent for him to arrive here at 11:30. So all we did was effectively get the guest system into that meeting. So that would then send Simon the invite with all the details that we need. Part of that process as well, though, is we need to set up the types of guests we have. So we've set up guest types here. So we can go into guest types. If I click on manage guest types, we can create the different types of people we've got. So in this case, we've got a contractor, an interview, and a visitor. So if I click on visitor, it's going to give me the style of badge that they would have, and we can use a regular badge printer to print that out. It also gives me some other pieces part of the step. One is, contact is going to be contacted by email to the host. We've also got some pieces down here about documents that might be required. So on here we've got a particular document which is an NDA, so non-disclosure agreement that's going to be sent to them. But we could add in there documents around health checks and many other things, health and safety details. So there's quite a few things that we can do on there, and also some guest instructions, so what to do when you arrive and things, especially when we send it out by email. So lots of things we can do. We can also integrate this into a door control system. So if you don't have a receptionist in that space or anybody who can go there, we can actually automatically open doors based on their arrival to let them. Once we've created those guests, we can then send out the invites, and then what we can do is have our guest arrive. So in this case, I'll show you on the screen what would happen. So I click on visitor, and I can start typing my details, or alternatively, I can use my phone. I can actually bring up a QR code in the corner, and I'll show you on the screen. I get exactly the same. So one, registered guest if I'm already registered as a guest, or I can click on one of the three options as a contractor, an interview, or a visitor. So in this case, I'll go for a visitor. And then what I need to do is put in my email address. I'll put in my personal email address. Click next. So now it's asking for my full name, and it's also asking for the host. So I'll put in Lee Cassidy, and hopefully it will find me from that. And then what it will do is allow me to upload a photograph or take a photo. So I'll do a photograph. and use that photograph. So let's put a photograph in, and then I've got my documents that have appeared on the screen. So one is my NDA. I can read through the NDA, and at the bottom of it I can write it on the screen and sign it. And then it could be a health and safety document. Again, I can sign it, and I sign both those documents, and I click finish. So once that's gone through, it's going to send that information through to the host. So the host will know exactly what's going on and that the person is there. So it's saying the badge has been printed, and now you can see on the screen now we've got a new visitor appeared on the screen. So there we have Lee Cassidy arrived. So what I'm going to do is go into the one previously, which is Simon Bateman. So when I've gone into Simon, we've got Simon's photograph, because when he used the application on his phone again, he took a picture of it. And then we can see down all the details. The camera's staying offline because he did it remotely, and he wasn't actually where the actual camera was at the time to do that. So he's all sorted there. You can see when he came in and everything, and what I can do is download the NDA that he signed. So if I click download, it's going to download that NDA, and also have his signature and when he actually signed in on that document. So really, really simple to see that. Same for the health documentation. And then I know he's left, so what I can do is click sign out, and it's actually going to register the time he's signed out from the system as well. So quite quickly we can manage a person in. Again, with this one, I can see myself there, all the details that I've signed to come in there, and then I'm logged into the system, and I will get an email and also a message to say that my visitors have arrived. So on here you can see on Teams, right, you see that I might be better on the other camera, better on that camera. I received a Teams message to say that Simon had arrived, and also my arrival as well, my second guest. And then if I look over here, we can see an email that's saying that Simon had arrived as well, and all the details as well. So we can notify everybody what's happening. So a really straightforward system to be able to manage your guests, understand who's who. It also gives us the ability to look at analytics. So we can see analytics of how many visitors I have on which days. And if we look just at today, it's saying that we've had 2 visitors, and we've only used one hosted those 2 visitors. We can also do is get this QR code, and we can print that on, put it on a piece of paper on reception if we didn't want to supply an iPad and get people to use their own phones to actually scan it. And we can also see what the actual preview of the actual screen looks like on the device that we've selected, in this case an iPad. I'll go back and close that. And then finally, if I go back to our guest home, we've got a couple of other things. One at the top here, I've got an export log, so I can actually export all the details about what's happened. So I'll just say for today, and I'll export those documents. And then if I open that up, we end up with a log which I can open in Excel. And again, it shows me all the visitors who've been in, who the hosts were, what time they came in, what time they left, and all details of that one, and if they were pre-approved on the system as well. So quite easy to understand, again, what type they were, and if they've signed all the documents and things as well. So if it was a contractor, instead of visitor saying here, it would say contractor. If it was an interviewee, it would say interview. So you can actually see all that detail as well. The other thing with the system is we can actually integrate it with other systems again. So we use web-based APIs. So if you've got a guest, we can actually trigger that to go into the system you want it to do. But using Teams, messaging, plus also email integration makes it really straightforward to do. And all your hosts can be integrated directly from your Active Directory solution as well. So really simple to put together. A really guest, visitor and contractor management system but you can actually track pre-invite and also get people to log in locally using either a physical device like this iPad, such as a mobile phone. But it makes you compliant to all your requirements, and you've got a good track of what's happened, who's been, who's left, who's been visited in the system. The other integration we've got, if we've got multiple cameras on site, will actually take the image of them arriving, actually look for them across the whole of your sites. So if they've been to another site before, it will actually show them where they were, which camera, and what they were actually at that site as well. So hopefully that gives you a good idea about Guest and how Guest functions. I'm just going to take those details off the screen, make myself a little bit bigger. So hopefully that's given like see it in anger. And what we can do is do another online bespoke demonstration for yourself, or what we can do is come out and actually show you on site what it looks like, bring along a printer, iPad, or pieces that are needed to show it off as well. If you'd like to know more about it, what you can do is book a meeting through this link. So book a meeting through meetings.hubspot.com/Lee-Cassidy, or you can actually get my contact details from here. And again, you can book a meeting through that. But if you've got any questions at all, put those in the comments, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible with the answers. So thank you very much for joining me today. It's very a quick whistle-stop tour of Guest. I'm not going to be around next week, but the following week we're going to move on to a different area, talking about access control and how that integrates as well. So hopefully that's given you a bit of a flavour of what Guest can do, and I'll give you back to your day. Thank you very much.